Hello, and I appreciate you listening in with us here at Warehouse and Operations as a Career today. I'm Marty, and today I'd like to share a question posed to our WAOC group. I had a great time researching for this episode. It was a lot of fun, and we really kind of dug in deep. I sent out a few questionnaires to supervisors and managers that I know, soliciting their thoughts and advice on the subject. I posed the same question to each of them, and really I'm not surprised all the answers were practically carbon copies of each other. Let me kind of set the stage a bit for you. The scenario is an associate with about 3 years warehouse experience in a distribution facility. Their present position is as an order selector, and he has experience as a fork driver in past production positions also. Overall, he's worked about 5 years in 3 different warehouses and appears to possess the necessary skills and training needed to do the job. He states, "I know I'm an average order selector and my errors are well within the norm. I always receive my productivity bonus and I've never had an accident of any kind. I want to do more, but I feel like my supervisor doesn't even know I'm here. She's always nice, says hello, and answers any questions I may have, which I hardly ever need anything anyway. WAOC is always talking about getting noticed and be that person, so what else do I need to do? I've only been tardy 1 time and haven't missed many days at all. Any ideas?" And in parentheses, he's put, "Please don't use my name." It sounds like the gentleman is on the right track without a doubt. Attendance and being on time is a large piece of our advancement pie. Getting noticed isn't always easy, and yes, it's possible to do everything 100% correct and find that our supervisors just don't really see it. Let's put ourselves in their shoes for a minute. They have an employee they can count on, shows up every day, and really produces for them. We make their jobs easier. So yes, even though we may be sharing our goals with them, they're comfortable with us in the position that we're in. Shoot, we may be the reason this part of their job is going so well for them. So all we need to do is make another part of their job go as easy for them, or really all their duties easier. We need to show them we can help in other ways also. WAOC tries to stress the importance of self-education and impressing others. Heck, impressing ourselves for that matter. Honestly, it's so easy. I sometimes think we make it so hard on ourselves because the information and words we need are around us and used every day. We know all the key words, those attention grabbers that will, without a doubt, get us noticed. Noticed by not only our boss, but their bosses also. We've talked a lot about the use of keywords before. Now that's not compliments towards our management teams, but the words that mean something to them. Things that they are held accountable for. Today let's talk about a few words that will get their attention. We'll be able to identify where their concerns are or what they're focused on, and you will get noticed by them. Remember, we're going to make their jobs easier, and at the very least, we're going to speak to what's on their mind. We don't have to be absolutely proficient at any of this. We just need to be able to use the vocabulary and be able to talk to it a little. First, let's look at a few reporting words. Productivity is always something that bubbles to the top really quick. I found this definition. Y'all know how I like looking up definitions and new words. I found this at www.thebalance.com. It states, warehouse productivity is a number of measurements that management will analyze to monitor the performance of their warehouse operations. The basis of many of the measures used in warehouse productivity is based on how much it costs to perform an operation. The study of labor productivity started with the analysis of repetitive operations in a manufacturing environment. Time and motion studies were performed by industrial engineers who would observe how long line operators took to do certain operations and would then mathematically calculate standard times for operations. The warehouse operations are unlike production as they are not really repetitive, but a number of measures have been devised to help measure warehouse productivity. Now that's really a bit deep, at this stage. I feel we don't have to figure out the how, really. or how to arrive at these numbers as much as we need to know the what and the why. The what being the numbers expected from us, maybe something like 210 cases an hour for order selection, 31 replenishments an hour, or 28 putaways an hour. Maybe something like 750 cases received an hour, or 450 linear feet moved per hour, etc., things like that. Whatever the industry numbers or measurement number your facility is asking for, and it's perfectly fine to ask the why, and we should understand the importance of the why. As an example, we need to pick 210 cases an hour so that we can load 500 cases an hour, so the trucks can dispatch on time. These are just made-up numbers, your numbers as they're being discussed daily probably, or hopefully they are. If not, there's your first subject to discuss with your supervisor. Another good word is throughput, and I found this definition at smallbusiness.chron.com. Throughput is the rate at which a company can produce finished goods on a consistent basis. While different companies can apply throughput in different ways, a common way a warehouse might measure throughput is as a measurement of how many finished goods can be moved through the warehouse on a daily basis. By measuring the warehouse throughput, management can determine how much warehouse labor expense to include in the cost per unit. Every warehouse I know of really measures throughput using different components or measurements, but usually it'll be something like total cases divided by total hours will be your throughput number. This is a number your management team could use for measuring how well and efficient the operation is running. One other really good reporting word is metrics. And I found this definition at www.businessdictionary.com. Standards of measurements by which efficiency, performance, progress, or quality of a plan, process, or product can be assessed. We know how many cases are received each day, how many trucks come in to be unloaded, how many pallets all that freight is broken down on each day. Just like we know everything in reverse on the shipping side, or how many cases are pulled and how many trucks are loaded for dispatch. And we'll know how many units are produced on a shift and boxed up for shipping to how many customers had ordered them. These numbers are used to measure everything in operations, and each number is needed to measure something else. Again, we hear all these words and numbers every week. The power is in understanding them enough to bring them up to our supervisor. If he or she is not familiar with them, I assure you that you just met your new best friend. And if they are being held accountable for them, he or she will be sharing much more with you if you're truly interested in hearing about it. I'm pretty sure we'll now be noticed, and noticed in a very positive way. Remember, it's just conversation. Don't come across like an expert. Just bring them up in conversation, and it should be perfectly fine to ask about them. A couple of other things that can help us get noticed could be a little knowledge about any audits our management teams could be responsible for. We've discussed a couple of different audits before. In episode 2, we ran through a few of the third-party sanitation and operational ones, as well as a few governmental agencies as well. I believe it was titled A Few Thoughts on Regulatory, GMPs, SOPs, and PWMs. It'd be great if you have a few minutes to review them. It has quite a few talking points your supervisor should really enjoy sharing and discussing with you. 2 quick subjects every lead and supervisor should take notice to are our GMPs and SOPs, so I'd like to talk about them for just a few minutes. As we've learned, general maintenance practices can include and probably should include all of our facility sanitation and warehouse rules. GMPs can be written simple or really fairly complex. Every facility will be different, but there are a few that are just really warehousing 101. Things like no gum chewing or using mints or candy in the warehouse, no glass containers outside of the break room. That's a real big one. That's in most all warehouses. No sodas or sugary drinks on the warehouse floor. No lunch containers outside the lunchroom. Oh, and this is an important one. Clean up spills of any kind immediately. Do not place boxes on the floor. Always utilize pallets. Another real good one is cover any cuts and scabs with a bandage. Oh, and segregate damages in specified areas. That pretty much applies to all warehouse operations also. And for our SOPs, or standard operating procedures, that's really just a plan from the first step to the last step, or from A to Z of the operation or the task. It could include something like arrive to work on time and dress for work wearing all required PPEs or personal protective equipment. Proceed to the equipment charging area, retrieving your assigned jack and performing your pre-trip inspection of the equipment. Sign into your selection equipment and pull your first batch down. Proceed to the first slot and complete your batch. Stage and wrap pallets at the assigned door. Proceed to the empty pallet area and retrieve pallets. Then you would start over, pull down your second batch and proceed to completion. Of course, that's a quick example, but you get the idea. Remember, we learned that documentation is the important key with GMPs and SOPs. If it's not documented that you're doing it, the auditor will assume that you're not doing it. Properly having and documenting all safety procedures are really important as well, from general safety rules to exactly describing the procedures for cleaning spills, properly lifting product, and procedures for stacking pallets and controlling walkways. Pre-trip and post-trip inspections of equipment and a good lockout-tagout program are really good examples also. You mention a few of these at the right moment or bring them up in a conversation, and again, you will be noticed. Share your thoughts and ideas. Participate during every safety meeting, and you'll be showing your management team how interested you are in the job and the company. I just have to feel that they will notice you and notice they're working with someone really interested in a career. I read once, and I apologize, I'm not really sure where, that luck is just when preparation and opportunity meet. I feel we can control both of these. We've discussed several times here at WAOC how it's our responsibility, or us as associates, to be a bit self-educated. Listen and learn during every shift. We're exposed to so much about the company and its inner workings every day, and our managers give us plenty of opportunities to show them what we've learned. Use those startup meetings and safety meetings to speak up. An opportunity to slide in a little of our learned knowledge, it will present itself. We've covered a lot of ground today. It's easy. It's really simple to get noticed by our management team. If we're there and on time every shift, the self-education will come easy to us. We're around it every day. The only part that some find difficult is bringing it up and really participating. Just do it. You'll find it's just that easy and it's really appreciated. I hope we answered the question today and you've picked up a pointer or two, or at least a couple ideas to try or throw out there at your next meeting or chat with your supervisor. If we here at WAOC can help you with an individual question or a situation, just shoot us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com, and we'll share our thoughts and probably an opinion or two with you. Thanks for listening to us today, and we'd appreciate it if you'd check the show out again next week. Until then, let's all listen, learn, participate, and share. Please work and live safe. We have many people counting on us.